Hi everybody, and welcome to I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel, and welcome to Traveling with Russell. I guess that's the kind of new name for the channel temporarily. Now today we're just going to do a quick short video, just a bit of a channel update really, and maybe we can just talk about the current situation with the cruise ships. Now behind me, I am at home in Perth, Australia, as you may know or not, but behind me is the Fremantle passenger terminal. Now this is where the cruise ships come into Fremantle Harbour, where I live, and dock. You can just see it off in the background. It's a fairly big building. It's actually, originally was wool sheds, dating back to the 1960s, and they converted it to a passenger terminal later on. And now there's not a whole lot going on, of course. There's nobody here, there's nobody parked up. It's actually fenced off as well, so you can't even get access to the building or nearby the building. So yeah, thanks for watching the channel, everybody. We are going to have a little walk around. We're not going to see a whole lot though. Thanks for being a subscriber if you are a subscriber. Thanks for putting comments. I do try and reply to comments where I can. Right now, of course, all the cruise ships are in a bit of a pause. My hand's getting very stiff because it's very heavy to hold the camera right now because it's windy as well. You can see some cars going right by. Some are they Toyotas? I'm not sure what they were. I couldn't quite see the badge on the back. Yeah, some of the cars come in and out of here. They've got the big ro-ro ships that bring the cars in and out of the port. So yeah, all the cruise ships as of yesterday or the day before, depending on what you watch in the video, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Holland America, they all cancelled now through till February, March, April. The ships in Australia, some of them have cancelled as far away as May this year, May in 2021 or next year. So yeah, how do you feel about that? I mean, of course, I'm at home, so I'm not sort of good about it. Now, pretty much a lot of the crew are nearing on 6, 7 or 8 months vacation, I guess we can call it. I mean, a lot of people did even just sign on the ship a month before or weeks before it all stopped. And then crew members had to go home. There is, of course, the ships are still around. You'll see them in some of the cruise Facebook groups. But they're all basically just manned down to between about 50 and 100 crew on a ship, which is just crazy to think, from 1,000 or 1,200, 1,400 crew to less than 100. So yeah, we'll have a little bit of a walk around and see what we can see. Now we've managed to get a little bit closer to the entrance of the passenger terminal, and it's kind of an interesting building. It's kind of part of the main harbour, which kind of runs all the way from where the ships would enter right up to the river where the Swan River actually is, and kind of leads up to the city. It's actually listed, a heritage listed building under the West Australian government's heritage listing of old buildings as a building of significance. It was actually built and completed in 1962, so it's been here a lot of years. And to be very, very honest, barring a few cosmetic improvements, it's pretty much how you see it. There's not a lot of changes. It was actually kind of wool sheds originally. They used to export a lot of wool directly from these terminals back prior to the 60s, and then it was converted to a passenger terminal in 1960 through 1962. Yeah, it's very, if you come down here and you live in the area, it's not the most exciting of buildings, but it's got a lot of significance to the original immigrants that came to Australia. This was the first port of call when ships came from Europe, and a lot of people chose to get off in Fremantle because they'd already done 2 weeks or 4 weeks on a ship, and they landed, or they docked in Fremantle and got off the ship, and they didn't want to go on to Sydney or Melbourne or Adelaide or even New Zealand. They thought, that's it, we're here, we're home, and got off the ship. So I've just jumped in the car and I've driven down to the South Mole, or I guess it's the South Groin. It's actually the groin that basically leads the ships into the harbour, which you can see off in the distance behind me. And a lot of people, now it's very empty today, of course. There is a few people fishing, and the car park has got a couple of cars in it. But this is actually traditionally where a lot of people will come down and wave off the ships. Of course, maybe you'd have family on them or not. And sometimes you could come down here, not even find a car parking spot, and there'd be, I would say, thousands of people. Not every cruise ship that comes in and out, but particularly famous ones like the original QE2 or the Queen Mary 2. We had some ships that were here during the start of the COVID crisis, the Vasco da Gama, and that had a lot of COVID cases on it. And I came down here myself, and there was thousands of people here waving the ship off. Of course, the ship was going back to Europe, and since then the ship has now been sold off, and it's gone on to new owners. And it was very famous at the time. It was in the news when I was down here. The TV stations were down here. There was helicopters flying over, and it was really a big deal. And this is still a very famous point to come down and check out the ships sailing in or out of the harbour. Generally to check ahead of time on the website what the schedule is, and then come down and wave them in or wave them out. And right off in the distance, you can see, oh, it's very far off, you can see the passenger terminal there where the ships would leave from, and they'd sail out of here. And if I just swing around, you'll see it's probably gone a bit sunny now, you'll see the two groins right here, and then there's the lighthouses, the red on one side and then the green right behind me. And that would signify the entrance from Gauge Roads. The actual the passage sailing into the harbour is called Gauge Roads, and then you'd come into Fremantle Harbour and dock at the passenger terminal right behind me. Okay, so for my last stop in the video, I've come down to the Fremantle Port Authority building, and there's a pretty cool statue right here of a guy called C.Y. O'Connor. Now he's the guy who's responsible for building the Fremantle Harbour and the port area. He also built a lot of the railways that run from Fremantle into the inland areas of Western Australia. Also some major water pipelines as well. And there's a statue of him right here behind me. Now, for people that are from Perth or from WA watching this, they may know about this statue. They may have driven past it but never stopped to have a look. But it's a pretty neat statue to see. And of course, being a cruise lover and a bit of a small history buff about cruise ships, it's kind of unique to come down here and check out the statue. The Port Authority building behind us here is a pretty significant building for Fremantle. I'm pretty sure this is the tallest building in Fremantle. I'm not sure. But it's a pretty huge building. And from the top story there, you can just see there's a bit of a kind of a lookout over the whole port. So I'm pretty sure this is where they direct all their operations from as well. Pretty neat to get up to the top floor of that, wouldn't it? Not sure if I can. I don't think I can. But yeah. Now I hope you've enjoyed the little bit of a video and a look at the Fremantle passenger terminal. And we went to the north, to the South Mall, or the South Groin. I'm not sure how they name it properly. And we checked out the lighthouse there, and where the ships would come into the dock. Of course, no cruise ships at the moment. We're now pretty much, depending on the port of call, 7, 8, 9 months since the cruise ships were sailing out of America. And of course, Carnival Cruise Line's in this pause now until February. Some of the Australian-based ships are in until April and May, which is just, when will it end? Now, COVID-19, of course, we know worldwide has caused a lot of disruption to businesses and industries, but of course the cruise industry's been drastically hit by nobody getting on the cruise ships and sailing, of course. Now we know there's a couple of ships at the moment starting operations in Singapore, and there's a couple out of Italy as well, MSC, and the one in Singapore is a Royal Caribbean ship, so maybe check that out. Of course, if you can't fly to the ports, it's pretty hard to take a cruise. So yeah, I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel. We're on vacation still, waiting to get back on the ship. If you want to ask me a question, put it down in the comments. Maybe I can make a question and answer video. If you are a subscriber, thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for sticking with me through this pause. And I hope you still like the videos I'm making. Maybe fun, maybe not. Yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. Notification bell for new videos. And write something in the comments. Let me see if I can maybe respond to some of the questions that you have. And thanks for watching I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel. Thanks everybody. Bye.